With two eclipses happening in October, this will be a quite interesting month from an astrological perspective. The two eclipses mark the end of a cycle that started in November 2021, and they will have a big effect especially on world politics. I will talk about this later during the video, but let's talk about the other transits first. When I calculate the dates for the forecast, I use the universal time. Depending on your location, the dates may differ due to the many time zones that we have. Let's take the 5th of October as an example. Because New Zealand is 12 hours ahead of the universal time, the event that I mentioned could actually happen on the 6th of October local time. For the United States, Canada, Mexico, and other territories located far away to the west, the date could be the 4th of October. Moving on to the forecast for October 2023. On the 2nd of October, there will be some communication problems and misunderstandings. We can't think very clearly and it's difficult for us to concentrate. You should be careful where you put your keys, smartphone or other things as you might lose them. If you have some tasks that require concentration power, it's better to perform them on the 3rd of October when we can concentrate a lot better. This is also a better day for important meetings and discussions. You might even meet someone who will influence your way of thinking. Starting from the 5th and until the 22nd of October, we are more willing than in other periods of time to compromise. We seek harmony and don't want to make anyone mad. On the negative side, it will be more difficult for us to make decisions, and even when we do, we will keep asking ourselves if the decision was correct. Even if we seek harmony, some problems and power struggles may arise on the 9th of October. External factors hinder us from reaching our goals, or at least that is how we feel. Out of frustration, we might get into a fight with someone. This is a day that could bring some changes and an inner transformation, but only if we are flexible, if we are able to adapt quickly, and if we don't get into conflicts. Avoid dangerous situations and violent individuals. From the 9th of October and up until the end of the month, we will enjoy activities that help us to improve our health and our appearance. People who have businesses related to fitness, health, nutrition could be more successful and earn more money during this period of time. And talking about money, our way of thinking will be more practical, meaning that we will think twice before spending money, and we could also take a closer look at our finances. In our relationships, we will also express our love in a practical way. We won't just talk about love and say someone that we love them, but we will rather do something nice for them, like helping them with their tasks. It's a period of time when helping others will make us feel fulfilled. The only problem is that we also tend to criticize others. So please keep in mind, if you want to make a nice gesture, do it, but don't react irritated if the other person doesn't immediately show gratitude. Also, since we are talking about criticizing, don't be too harsh on yourself either. I said that this is a time when we enjoy doing things for other persons. Yet on the 10th, we might feel overwhelmed by our commitments and obligations. We are also under the impression that other people reject us and we are in a bad mood. It would be better to spend some time alone, but also to make good use of it, for example by getting in touch with our inner self. I also mentioned that we all tend to criticize other persons. Especially on the 11th and the 14th of October, there's a higher risk of hurting other people or getting hurt. This could be about our body, so about small accident, but it's first and foremost about our psyche. Be careful how you talk to the people around you. If someone criticizes you, try not to overreact or to think that you are always right. Especially on the 14th, you gain a lot if you ask people for advice or help instead of being arrogant. Starting on the 12th of October, we will think more about our life goals and especially if they are what we truly want. We will have a lot of ambition and energy to reach our goals, but we must first know what our goals and priorities are. A great day to start putting your plans into action is the 13th of October, when you'll have a lot of energy and self-discipline. On this day, you can solve annoying tasks that you've been postponing. Overall, this transit gives us a chance to move forward if we use it in a positive way. The negative side is that we are a little bit too ambitious and ready to fight with other people or to manipulate them, in order to get what we want. A solar eclipse will occur on the 14th of October. At the end of the video, I will talk about the effect that the 2 October eclipses will have on the world politics. But they will, of course, also influence us personally. On the 14th, the focus is on all kinds of relationships. First of all, on marriage and romantic relationships, but also on friendships, business partnerships, and so on. On this day, we may feel that we lose our power, that we are not in control anymore. We might hurt people through the things we say, or someone could hurt us with their words. Couples that have been having problems could decide to separate, or something will trigger an important decision that will come later. Eclipses can have an effect for up to 6 months, so pay attention to what happens on this day related to relationships and social contacts. These events could influence you until spring 2024. If you want to know more about how the October eclipses influence your zodiac sign, please check the horoscope that I will post for all 12 signs on Patreon and Ko-fi. Starting from November, I will also publish the monthly horoscope on these platforms, so please join me there. For the price of a coffee, you get access to the monthly horoscope and to other exclusive contents. I'll post the links in the description. Now let's see what happens later during the month. If you must write emails and other texts, or if you must participate in important discussions, the 20th would be a good day to do that. Our thinking is improved, so it's a good time for taking care of important matters like paying bills or negotiating a contract. The 21st, on the other hand, wouldn't be good at all for such tasks. It's a day marked by power struggles and conflicts. You may feel frustrated or powerless because you must accept a situation that you don't like. Even if the situation is not to your liking, you should try to adapt or to see it in a more positive manner. And don't despair. Already on the 22nd of October, you will feel a lot better. On this day we enjoy life, get a lot of love from other persons, we can concentrate better and are self-disciplined. It's a good day to find solutions, to plan ahead and for negotiations. Starting on this day and for at least about a month, we will understand things better, we are curious and want to find out hidden things. If you must take a risky decision, you should analyze the situation on this day, as you can better recognize possible pitfalls. No matter what you plan to do on this day, it's very important to become active. Don't just wait for things to happen, but drive them forward yourself. Even just getting out there and meeting people could bring benefits. So use the positive energy of this day. The 24th is another good day, this time especially for completing difficult or annoying tasks. We can concentrate better, are patient and self-disciplined. It's a perfect day for meetings, especially with older persons or your boss, and a good day for cleaning your house and clearing your mind. The 2nd October eclipse, this time a lunar eclipse, will happen on the 28th. On a personal level, it would be best to take part in spiritual activities on this day. It's important to find a balance. Our intuition will be improved, but at the same time we tend to become arrogant and to overestimate our abilities. We can achieve great success, but only if we recognize our limits and act carefully. On a bigger scale, this eclipse and the transits happening on this day increase the risk of a natural disaster or extreme weather conditions, especially floods, earthquake or landslides. Again, I want to mention that the effect of the eclipse could last for up to 6 months. On the 29th of October, our mind is very active, but we also have a lot of energy to pursue our goals. Yet we should not act impulsively. We have high expectations, we feel like competing with the people around us, and tend to overextend ourselves. As long as we don't try to rush things and don't become too arrogant or selfish, this should be a good day. The month ends on a good note. On the 31st, we are very creative, which will also help us solve various problems or tasks. We could have a pleasant surprise, especially in terms of finances. And last but not least, relationships benefit a lot from this day's transits. It's a good day to go out, to socialize and meet new people. Especially if you are single, it's a good idea to leave the house because you might meet someone interesting. Now you know how the planets will influence us in October on a personal level. But I promised I would give you more details about the effect that the 2 eclipses have on world politics, So let's talk about that. The 2 October eclipses will take place on the Taurus-Scorpio axis and are the last of a series of 7 eclipses that happened on this axis since November 2021. This means that a cycle that began in November 2021 will come to an end. That could happen in October or sometime during the next 6 months, as the eclipse's effect lasts for up to 6 months. On a global scale and when talking about politics, these eclipses influence first and foremost laws, peace treaties, the beginning or end of wars, matters related to territories, equality of all kinds, and all things related to the environment. If you think back what happened during this eclipse cycle until now, the first thing that comes to mind is the war in the Ukraine. The effect of the eclipses is stronger in territories where they will be visible. The solar eclipse on the 14th of October will cross North America, Central America, and the northern part of South America. Besides being perfectly visible in the United States, it activates some points in the horoscope of the US and of Joe Biden. It also activates a lot of points in Donald Trump's horoscope, which makes me think that he will be more vocal or present in the media in October and/or during the next months. The European Union, Russia, and China are also affected by the eclipses. But the most interesting horoscope on this day is, in my opinion, that of Vladimir Putin. Looking at it, I believe that he will become even more isolated than he already is, and that he might lose his power sometime between October 2023 and April 2024. Some points of his horoscope will also be activated by the lunar eclipse on the 28th of October. This one will be visible in Russia, Europe, Asia, Africa, parts of Australia, and interestingly enough, a small part of the United States, including its capital city, Washington, D.C. Overall, for October and 6 months after that, I expect important new developments related to the war in the Ukraine, maybe other territorial disputes and international treaties.